Hello YouTube, Steven the Salon Guy here, and this is Beauty School Basics Episode 5, Essential Tools You Need, all right? Now, these are great tools just in general, even if you're a professional, you graduated school, but I've learned a lot of things over the years, especially when I was in beauty school, about specific things I needed, I wish I had when I was in school that I didn't, and so I'm gonna share with you a whole slew of things that I'm currently using today that I would suggest investing in. Even if you're in school, you just graduated, whatever it is, you need to have an arsenal, all right? You have to be ready for whatever it is you're trying to do. And I know a lot of you guys get kits when you go to school. Sometimes they have some pretty decent stuff in there, and sometimes it's not so decent stuff, so especially when it comes to shears and stuff like that. So it really depends. But I'm gonna break down what I'm using, what I would suggest to you, and in the description, I'm gonna have links to most of the stuff you can get on Amazon, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna have some links to where you can get them. They are affiliate links, so because I'm an Amazon influencer, so they are affiliate links, but I'm not sponsored by any of these brands or anything. I should be, okay? I should be, to be honest with you. So let's get started. All right, now I've got all this stuff in front of me here, and I also have this nice new workbench that Rachel on my team has put together for me because she's amazing. And on this workbench, there's a whole bunch of stuff, all right? Now, let's start with some core essentials. I'm just gonna kind of randomly pick stuff up and we're gonna start. Haircutting combs, okay? Now, this is a haircutting comb that I have been using for probably the last 2 years or so, this particular brand. This is YS Park, all right? This is a nano carbon anti-static comb. This is the YS335 extra long. So this is an extra long comb. And the reason I'm using a longer comb is that I feel like I have a lot more control when combing the hair. And as compared to something that may be a little bit more traditional, I just feel like with a longer comb, I can comb the hair easier. I have more control over it. And I think my haircuts are a lot more precise. These things last a pretty long time. Just treat them delicately, it is an semi-expensive comb, but it's an investment I think it's worth making. I don't buy just one, I'll buy like 5. You always want to have backup, because if you crack one of these things or something happens or you drop it and you break it, you need to have something to back yourself up. So I would have 3 altogether if I were you. If you're investing in it, maybe get 3 of them. So we've got the combs. Now, when it comes to brushes, this is a Denman vent brush, fairly inexpensive. But again, I'd pick up maybe 2 of these things, three of them just to have on hand, but it's essential when styling, maybe men's hair, trying to brush the hair through the hair relatively quickly. But this is a Denman vent brush. One of my all-time favorite brushes, for the last, I'd say 15 years or so, the Paul Mitchell, this is a 413 sculpting brush, all right? It looks just like this. One of the most amazing brushes I've used. I still use it to this day. It's a Paul Mitchell Pro Tools, an incredible brush. The bristles have these little kind of dots on them in the top here, so that helps protect the scalp. When you're brushing through, you're not really, injuring the scalp, or so it's really an amazing brush. Definitely, I suggest this. The next is round brushes. Again, this is Paul Mitchell Express Ion Round. This is the medium size, but they have medium, large, extra large. I would say get 1 of each size. I don't use this brush as often, the medium, which to me almost is like a small, but anything that has, the ceramic technology, or, it really helps, okay? Because you don't want to damage the hair by using tools that are outdated and that don't have any sort of specific type of material or whatever is used to make this. You want to make sure it's going to be protecting the hair, all right, when using heat. So I really love this, and I've noticed the difference between this and boar hair bristles is, because this does heat up, the barrel heats up, it sets the hair a little bit better. But sometimes boar hair smooths the hair a little bit better. The blow dry comes out a little bit better and smoother. I've seen it in different scenarios, but You know, it's better for certain hair types, finer hair sometimes, you know. But brushes are very, very important because you'll be using these things all the time and you need to have good ones. Now, what are you going to be sectioning and clipping and all that other stuff the hair with? Clips. So these are like your traditional like butterfly clips. And again, you can get these on Amazon. I mean, like really, really inexpensive, but I think they come in like, I don't know, 6 in a pack or something, whatever it is, 12 pack. Just get like 1 or 2 of them so you have a whole bunch of clips. These things end up going missing all the time. All right, especially if you have a bunch in a salon and you have them with you, next thing you know, they'll be missing. No one knows how, but they're missing. So these are amazing butterfly clips. Then you've got these are a lot newer, but they're really, really strong. These types of clips right here. It really holds the hair in place and it keeps that section nice and clean. So these are really, really good right here. These types of clips. And I think it's like a claw clip or something like that is what people are calling it. Your traditional duckbill clips, these are like metal. Again, these are really good. They're obviously, look how thin they are as far as, and they're easy to work with, but these are kind of old school. Diane, the brand Diane makes a lot of clips. So here's some good clips right there. All right, now let's start working into some other tools like scissors. Everybody talks about scissors and there's such a broad range when it comes to scissors and shears that, you know, I have my own shears, which I made extremely affordable, and there's so many shear companies out there. The markup on scissors is ridiculous. The markup on scissors is ridiculous. And I want companies to make money, that's great, but I've learned, you know, how much it costs for people to make scissors and how much they're charging. So I suggest, like, I'm a big Joel guy, all right? And these are 7-inch shears right here. I've always gravitated towards these. They've been one of my favorites for a long time. They're great workhorse shears. You can use them over and over and over. Like, they're easy to work with. They're not super expensive, but they're pretty darn good. I like 7-inch shears because if you're doing scissor over comb, you can cover a nice wide span. For my layered haircuts, it works out well. You know, for face framing, it works out really well too. It's just, for me, I like them. You know, I really like them. Thinning shears are really, really good too. These are 14 teeth. These are 6.0. All right, these scissors right here. So thinning shears are great for adding texture to really short hair. If it's really, really thick, short hair, I like to go in and twist the hair and do chomps. It's great for scissor over comb, again, for blending. And, you know, definitely invest in a good pair of shears, trust me. But they don't have to be $1,000, $900. These Joels aren't, and they're pretty darn good, and I suggest them and I use them. So there's that. Razors. Here is a feather razor right here. Again, it'll be in the description. This is great for hair cutting. It's got the protective guard on it, so when you're cutting, you don't cut yourself, and it's a lot more forgiving. Very, very popular with doing haircuts. A feather razor. Next is the feather nape razor right here, where this one is pretty much equivalent to a straight edge. It has no guard, so it's a straight razor, and I tend to like this and use this a lot more if I am doing my male clients and I'm shaving up here, wherever. I do tend to like this a bit better as compared to the larger kind of traditional barber type razor, but this is really good. Very, very popular. You do need to buy blades. It will come with some blades, but you have to restock on blades. So, you know, you got to make sure you're ordering those over time too. So razors are really, really important. Probably the most important tool out of all of them is this. What are these, ladies and gentlemen? Tweezers. All right, now these are Tweezerman, which is a really good brand for tweezers. But I'm telling you, you will thank me. Always have tweezers on you. If you cut hair a lot, have them in your station, have them in your purse, have them in wherever, your coat, whatever it is. Always have these darn things on hand. You know why? Because there's a thing called hair splinters. And I get them all the time. When you're cutting someone's hair, especially men's haircuts, and it's really, really short, they're like needles, all right? And I'm sure, leave a comment below in the comments section if you've ever had a hair splinter and you want to die. It's like, I'd rather get waterboarded than have one of those things, hit one of those. So what you need to do is, these will come in so handy when you feel that little sucker in your hand. You go, oh man, effing hair splinter. Oh, I got these tweezers, psh, done. And especially when you're in the middle of a client too, because it's very difficult to work with hair splinters in your hands or wherever, and you have to, you hit that spot where the splinter is and you're like, ooh, it's torture. Keep a pair of these all the time. Get good ones too, really good ones like this, because you need to have them really sharp, because sometimes it's really short. The hair's such a small piece of hair, you gotta go in there and really dig for it. So, tweezers. All right, next. A neck duster to get all the hair off. Very, very essential. Always have one of these on hand so you can dust off the client on their face. This is Diane. Again, Diane makes good stuff, good tools. All right. Last but not least, we're gonna talk, actually a couple more things. Let's talk clippers, all right? Now, these are magic clips. Again, this will all be in the description below. I'll have my influencer page with all of this stuff on there. So you just click that link and you can view everything that basically I've gotten on Amazon, and including these tools for the most part. Magic clips are very traditional in the sense that, you know, a lot of barbers use these things. A lot of barbers love these things. I use them. I think they're great. These have, you know, it has the lever where you can adjust the lever right in through here, this part here. And also these are the better attachments. These are the metal ones, where you snap them on and they're good to go right here. And it comes in like a case like this. This is something really you should invest in if you intend on doing a lot of men's cuts. I definitely suggest getting the magic clips. There's a variety, like the senior wireless seniors. Those are pretty good, but I've gotten kind of used to these. You know, some people say these are low end, but I don't know. I think they work fine, but the magic clips are good. So you have that type of clipper. Then I tend to use, this is the Oster Model 1. This one has the blades where they're like actual metal blades like this, and you detach the blade one by one. So going from like a 1 to a 1A to a 1.5, then to a 2, 3, whatever. And I have all the blades for them, and they're not cheap, but these are like the real workhorse clippers. If you want to get the hair a little tighter, power through it, I suggest this type of professional clipper right here, all right? And a trimmer. This is the Andis model D8 trimmer right here. You've probably seen it a million times on YouTube or wherever. This is definitely a good trimmer that I suggest, and a lot of other barbers use and suggest this. We have blow dryers, all right? Now, I know blow dryers are such a big craze in the salon industry, and everybody's seen this nice little beautiful dryer right here, the Dyson. This is the professional Dyson dryer. This is a supersonic dryer, and the reason I say professional is that this is actually the professional edition. And I used to I was like, oh, whatever, it's not worth it. I ain't buying into it, until I actually started using it. And now I'll never use another dryer again because I love this thing. I love how it makes the hair feel. I love how it blow dries the hair faster than other blow dryers. It's some great technology in this. You know, the only thing I'm not crazy about is I used to hold the blow dryer like this when I would blow dry sections. And unfortunately, there's not really a lot of room here. You just gotta be careful. This doesn't, burn yourself, or it's not too hot for your hand. So, but this is the Dyson, man. This is what everybody's talking about. I suggest it. Last but not least, now your cosmetology school obviously is gonna provide you with a book, right? Like a textbook of haircutting or whatever it is. But this book right here. So I went to Sassoon in London, okay, for some haircutting training. Vidal Sassoon in London. And this is the ABC, Cutting Hair the Sassoon Way. This is like the Bible, okay, of hair cutting. All right, this book right here is literally a gold mine, and it really explains the haircuts kind of step by step and really shows how to cut them. It explains what they all are. It's really an incredible book. And, you know, I gotta tell you, when I first got this, when I was over there, I said, where can I get this book? And it explains everything you need to know about haircutting. To be honest with you, it explains it all, and then it shows the haircuts, shows how to blow dry them, kind of step-by-step stuff. Yeah, it's like the Bible. So this is hard to get. This, I had to order this from Sassoon over from their London location, one of them. And I went to the one in Knightsbridge, and I went to the one in Mayfair, okay? Very posh areas for all you Brits. And I loved it. I'd love to go back one day, but this was hard to get, you know, so these things aren't floating around, but you can order them, I believe, from Vidal Sassoon, so look it up. But that's it. So guys, I hope you found this helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you did. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more videos with the Salon Guy.